Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Cristal Bedolla, and welcome to La Cebollita Talks podcast. I'm a teen Latina abolitionist and environmental justice advocate from La Villita, right here on the west side of Chicago. On today's podcast episode, we're going to be talking about environmental racism on the southeast side of Chicago. And today, I'll be in conversation with Sam Cabrales.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Cabrales. I'm from the southeast side of Chicago, a Latino, and I've lived here my entire life. I currently attend Jones College Prep High School with our wonderful host here, Cristal.
How would you personally define environmental racism?
So it's basically a disparity in the amount of pollution and environmental benefits that two different communities can experience, solely based off of the racial demographic of those two communities and also the socioeconomic standing of those communities. And unfortunately, how it ends up working out usually is that majority BIPOC communities that typically tend to be low income are the ones who end up seeing the majority of the effects, the negative effects of environmental racism. And personally, I believe that's the exact situation that's going on here in the southeast side.
Yeah, I think your definition is really spot on. I would like to ask you, would you say that you have witnessed or have had personal experiences with environmental racism in your community on the southeast side?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like looking from an entire view of the city of Chicago, I feel like we have definitely had one of the longer histories with environmental racism, just because since I guess the US's industrial boom, we've had to deal with steel companies and salt companies and just various other high polluting industrial complexes that have gone up in our neighborhood. I really hate to say this, but it's become really normalized in our area. So the majority of the things that we are, I guess, being polluted by is things like manganese and arsenic, and pet coke is a big one. We actually, in around 2016, there was a big movement to try to ban pet coke in our area. It's a byproduct of a lot of steel production. Again, we've been dealing with this since our neighborhood started. It was first with US Steel, then US Steel moved out, and there's just been a whole bunch of industrial companies in the mix with it, and our air quality is it's honestly terrible. And something that actually happened very recently was the Hegwish Little League baseball field, which is where I played baseball growing up, and it's again part of the southeast side. The EPA recently tested it, and they found high levels of lead and arsenic in the dirt that was in the outfield grass.
Yeah, definitely. It just really sucks to say that the Midwest, Chicago, especially the east side, the southeast side, is no stranger to having much of industrial companies and plants just all the time surrounding you, and you grew up with that. You see that it becomes normalized, and the fact that it's even so close to children.
Oh yeah.
It's terrifying. What's even crazier is you don't even see that in wealthier north side neighborhoods, it's not a coincidence. No. At this point, it's you put this there because you don't care about the people. So this leads me to my next question. What is the current environmental situation occurring at the southeast side community?
The new situation that's sort of been coming up is General Iron, a metal recycling company that is currently based in Lincoln Park, which is a wealthy majority white neighborhood, as you know. After exploding twice in the past 5 years, with the most recent being on May 18th of this year, they have been given a permit by our Illinois Governor Pritzker's, the IEPA, to build the scrapyard in the southeast side of Chicago along the Calumet River, which is, again, the same river that we already have dozens of industrial complexes on, and that river literally only gets used for the movement of their products into Lake Michigan, and then it gets distributed from there. Environmental racism is nothing new to us, but this is definitely something that is in the early enough stages to where we feel that we can actually try stopping it. I feel like it's definitely in part the whole reason that we're loaded with these industrial companies. Well, neighborhoods like Lincoln Park, Logan Square, Northside wealthy neighborhoods don't have to deal with that issue is because we're so far out that, people honestly don't care. Latinx neighborhoods, say Pilsen, and recently Hyde Park which was a majority Black neighborhood, have to deal with issues like gentrification. They're getting pushed out of their neighborhoods. You know, the place that they call home is getting used for development so it can look better, so the city can look better. While we're here on the outskirts, you know, we have the east side is going to be one of the last neighborhoods you'd ever think that would get gentrified, or, you know, that people would want to move into because it's so far out of the city, da 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 da, like all that stuff. So they just throw their polluters on us. And it's honestly like talking about it now is definitely frustrating me a bit more about it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's really insulting.
Definitely agree with a lot of what you said. It's really frustrating, and like, especially in terms of gentrification, I see that it's like really close to home, but I also see that they treat other neighborhoods that are like on the outskirts. So for example, the East Side neighborhood, like as literally like dumping grounds. They just choose to leave all, like they try to leave it in the shadows. They don't care, you know, they'll dump whatever there. It's crazy to think about how General Iron has had 2 explosions, like 2016 and 2020. It never belonged in the Lincoln Park neighborhood after like the first explosion, to be honest.
Yeah.
But for them to think that it's okay to place it in the Southeast Side neighborhood now, you know, even after that, and even besides the explosions, General Iron has received a harassment lawsuit as well. So just everything about that company is completely unsafe, and it's just so insulting, as you said. So I definitely see that, and especially during the middle of a pandemic. So I really want to know, like, what was your reaction to hearing this news?
I guess like anything else, my initial thing was to try to like get as much information for myself as I could. So finding out about like how you were saying General Iron's history, and you know, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors and stuff as far as like city legislators and whoever's running these companies. And knowing that we're small, but we're also really well organized, definitely gave me some hope that we can actually try to get stuff done to sort of whether it be stop them or try to at the very least hold them back, because you know it's hard to get a win out here. And you know, I just feel like that after our entire history of environmental racism, I feel like we should have one on the way. So
yeah, I see like you guys winning. I see you guys being like very active environmental justice like advocates and activists. And it's just really nice to see that. I know it is like frustrating to say like you feel the need to be part of the movement, you know, because like it's so like ingrained in like your life. But at the same time, like you guys have had wins before, and I'm hoping that you will have a win